Hello, my name is Mark Philpott. I'd like to welcome you all to the Humanity podcast show here on YouTube. And thank you very much for coming to watch this particular video. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so, and you'll be notified every time a new video drops by just pressing on the bell. Now, on this podcast, we talk to people all over the world about all sorts of conversations. It's all about having a conversation, something that we're very passionate about and something that we think we're losing touch with a little bit in this world. We need to be talking to each other more about all the things that are going on in the world rather than hiding behind our devices and our laptops and our keyboards. And we want to have more people actually communicating. So let's get on with the show today, and let's get over and meet my guest for today. So it's a very warm welcome to the Humanity podcast show, Luisa Gonzalez. Luisa, welcome.
Hi, how are you?
I'm in a very special mood today, Luisa, so be careful.
Yeah. Just the sound of your voice, and yeah, I kind of know that. Yeah.
I can tell. So how's life in beautiful Mexico today?
Today is Day of the Dead.
Ah.
So yeah, it is a very, very, very special day today here. It's a big deal in Mexico. It's one of the biggest celebrations.
So there's probably a lot of people listening that don't know anything about the Day of the Dead. Tell us about the Day of the Dead. How did it come about?
Okay, it's a celebration that it happens in November the 2nd in Mexico. And it's very, very different in each state in Mexico. So it's not the same. It depends on the state where you are living or staying in vacations or wherever. It's a different celebration, but it's a celebration about the people that is your closest friends or family that are dead. It's a celebration for their life. It's not about that they are not already here. It's about celebrating the life that they had with us. And people make some altars and put flowers and decorate with their photos, and especially with their favorite food. So it's a beautiful celebration because it's celebrating their life, not so much about being sad that they are not with us anymore. It's completely the opposite. It's being happy for the time we spend with them, and it's to honor them. So yeah, it's a beautiful celebration. If you have the opportunity to see something about it or read something, it's different on every state, but so beautiful.
So you're in Quintana Roo. So how does it get celebrated there? What's the unique thing about Quintana Roo?
Okay, here again, it depends not only on the state, but in different towns or cities in Quintana Roo.
Oh, so
yeah,
it
so it
drills down
depends.
to the cities.
Yes,
okay.
It's different, but even on the hotels in Cancun, you can see the altars inside the hotels. So you can see not only the people in the houses. They made it for everyone to understand, and it depends on when you are where you are. The food changes from one state to the other. It changed the decorations on the altar. On some states, they make like a pathway with cempasúchil flowers, that is the orange flower. And some other states, they make it like on levels. The altar is on levels. So, well, here in Cancun, one of the biggest celebration, it's on the Xcaret Park. They made 3 days or 4 days of celebration. In the afternoon night, they made a special event with dances and the altars for every state, food and music. And the Xcaret Park is big, super, super big, and it's natural, and it has cenotes and underground rivers and things like that. And they made the celebration there. It's a little expensive, but it's really worth it. So if there's people that want to check that out, not only on Day of the Dead, but it's a beautiful place to see the Mexican traditions. And yeah, this is the best place.
Do you get paid by the Mexican tourist office? Are they paying?
No, I do it for free.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do people come from all over the world to celebrate Day of the Dead in Mexico? Is that a thing? Like, is it a
Yes.
tourist thing? Yeah.
Oh yes, it is. Yeah.
Mm.
And it depends on different places like Guanajuato, Zacatecas, in different parts of Michoacan. It's a really big deal.
Yeah.
In towns in Jalisco, yeah, there are a lot of people coming from other countries on Day of the Dead because they know that the celebrations is big. And in some towns or places, the big deal is to go to the cemetery.
Mm.
So at night, they all the family and friends go to the cemetery and they clean the tombs and they put flowers and food and they kind of pray, or sometimes there is music, or it depends on the.
It's
place,
it's quite ironic that it's around the time of Halloween as well. So you could combine both of the things, yeah.
Yeah, a long time ago in Mexico, it was only about Day of the Dead and that's it. But lately and nowadays, it's like, yeah, we celebrate Halloween the 31st, and then Day of the Dead on the 2nd. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, lots of dead people hanging around.
Yeah, why not? Why not? We love the dead people. We're not afraid. So yeah, one is more like custom and making a party and things like that, and the other is about the people that is not with you anymore, family or friends. So yeah, in Mexico it's a double celebration.
So you recently lost your grandmother.
Yes.
So were you having a memorial to her during this Day of the Dead?
Yeah, my mom put an altar with her photo and my grandfather photo. They were both dancing, and it is a beautiful photo. And we just put a candle. We didn't make a big one because we didn't have the flowers or something, but we put a candle there, and it was like something simple, but yes, yeah.
So can you organize your own thing before you die for Day of the Dead? Like, do they have people that are making plans for when they die that, hey, I want you to do this for me when I die?
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah. Not only for the day that you dead and you think, okay, I want mariachis that day and tequila. For Day of the Dead,
Tequila.
They ask. Yeah, of course.
So like you celebrate the death with tequila.
Yeah, of course, and mariachis sometimes, music and food and all the family. So you dance, but you cry, but you sing. But
it's a party.
Mexicans,
it's a party.
A sad party, but yeah, it is. I know.
Hang on a minute. You got tequila, food, and stuff, and it's a sad party. How can it be a sad party when you're getting everyone
when
drunk?
People die here, it's like sad party, but it exists. That's sad party only in Mexico, maybe, but when someone dies in the family, sometimes, not always, but sometimes they say, okay, I want tequila or beer or something on the altar, and my favorite food is this, so I want that every year.
Yeah.
That happens.
Okay. And is the tourism industry promoting the Day of the Dead? Like, is it a tourist attraction for do a lot of Americans come down to Mexico for this time of the year?
Yes, a lot. Yeah. And I saw in the past few years like a boom of YouTube videos talking about that and making specific video for Day of the Dead on the place they are at that time. So there are people for many countries that they really are attracted for this celebration because it's really beautiful and unique. It's at night and it's visually so beautiful. It's really beautiful. And in Mexico City, the celebration is one of the biggest. They make a parade with super big skulls, and it is amazing. In Mexico City, it's like another level. So there are a lot of tourists from different countries that come to Mexico during this time, and they make videos. And on YouTube, it's you can find a lot of celebration Day of the Dead on different people that share their experience in different part of Mexico. But because it's so different from one to the other, it's really interesting to see.
Is it one of the biggest? Is it one of the biggest festivals in Mexico during the year?
It's the biggest. In my opinion, it's the biggest.
It's the biggest.
Because,
okay.
For us, Christmas is a big deal too because we made like a tiny party every day for, I don't know, 12 days or something. I really don't remember, before Christmas. So it's every day until Christmas. But it is beautiful, but it's not that important. Day of the Dead is the biggest one. Yeah.
So in Mexico, you enjoy people dying?
No, enjoy. That's kind of no, not enjoy, but it is it's a celebration. We take the dead in a different way.
Right. Okay.
Very different way. Yes.
Yeah, very different way. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, to everybody that's out there today who's been celebrating the Day of the Dead, I don't know whether you say congratulations or sympathy or commiserations or whatever, right? But
yeah,
have a great party. That's all I'll say. Yes, have a great party. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, something like that. I don't know what to say. Yeah, it's
actually, there's another party going on in the world at the moment. So Mexico is not the only place in the world where there's a party going on. There's all the world leaders have got together in Glasgow to talk about the climate change. A bit of a party going on. It's ironic. This I've got some real sensitive feelings around this whole waste of time, because I just find it ridiculous that they can have a summit where they're all getting together and talking about climate change.
Yeah.
They're all flying there in their personal jets. They're all got their entourages of cavalcades of cars and everything else. And then the world's largest polluters, China and Russia, are not even turning up to this event. Yeah, like
what for?
What for?
What for? Yeah, it's another sad celebration. And
well, yeah, there's a lot of things that need fixing in this world. The climate situation is one of them. There's no question that we have a issue, and a lot of people getting on this bandwagon at the moment and, you know, talking about the need to do stuff. But the reality is that the people that are supposedly in charge representing us don't really do anything about it, do they?
No, not really.
Has your president gone over there?
Oh my God. My president, he's a joke. So don't let me start. He's the worst president we have ever had. No, it's terrible. He has no idea what's going on in the world, not even in Mexico. So I doubt that he can understand what is that and what's going on in the world. And no, I don't think so. Like, he has no idea. But this is one of the crucial moment for this thing, right? They have to solve many problems, like now or never. And I don't think it's going to be too much change in the next few years. I don't know. I see them every year talking and discussing and trying, but it's not enough. What people is doing is not enough.
Well, I'm saving up for my ticket so I can go with Elon Musk to Mars. That's
okay.
That's going to be the best way to get out of here.
Yeah, less garbage. That's for sure, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well,
I'm in, as you well know, I'm in Australia, and
yes,
the United States of Australia, which are ununited because it's absolute joke here, and the Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, he's gone to the summit in Glasgow. Although he wasn't going to go, he played his tune for a while that he wasn't going to go on another overseas trip this year. But I think a little bit of peer pressure around that. Well, he's got an election coming up, so he's trying to keep everybody happy, of course, in Australia. So he decided to go over there, and now he's had this little spat with the French Prime Minister, Emmanuel Macron.
About the submarine, right?
Yeah, they brought some nuclear submarines from the Americans and told the French to bugger off. They don't want to buy their submarines anymore. So they've had a little bit of a Twitter spat over there together, and they carry on like kids, these politicians. Yeah. Yeah. It's actually embarrassing. It's embarrassing because they really are, you know, they think we're stupid and they treat us like we're stupid. So but there's been a lot going on in Australia. We've just opened up some of the borders, and I say some of them because, as I said before, it's like living in different states and countries around here. I'm in Queensland. We're in lockdown. We're not allowed out. We're in prison. So the Premier of this state has decided that we're not allowed to open up to the rest of Australia until the 17th of December, which is still quite a way away. And but we've got people flying out of Australia overseas on holiday, but we can't go to Queensland. Yeah.
No.
It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And
Yes,
I think the
it
problem here, I just want to say this on the show today, is that I think the problem is that in a lot of these instances, you've got people who are career politicians in charge of either their state or their country, and they've had very little in the way of international experience, whether it be in business or anything else. And to literally hold your state to ransom, which they're doing. And if you haven't been to Australia before, then Queensland is one of the most important tourist markets for the Australian economy. And it's going to be locked down for 2 years and nobody's allowed to come here and visit Queensland. Yeah. So it's a lot of unhappy people in this country, a lot of people that are sick and tired of the decisions that the politicians are making on their behalf, and a lot of frustration going on with, as you know, because we're affected by this, but lack of families being able to get, we saw scenes at Sydney Airport the other day on television, which were amazing, with reunification of families after being separated for 2 years because of government decisions not allow Australian citizens back into this country. And, it's going to be really interesting around election time. The problem with politics is the alternative parties are just as useless. They're just as bad. They've got the same types of people operating in. There's nothing in terms of progressive innovation coming in. Anyway, I could go on all day, but that's the state of Australia at the moment. Closed borders in Queensland, happy, smiley people in Sydney, and a little less grumpy in Victoria because they're finally out of lockdown after being the world's longest lockdown city during COVID. Yeah, what do you think of that? Amazing,
amazing, amazing. Yeah, and we are exactly the opposite right here, right? Mexico is the only one that everything is open from almost day one. It's extreme. And I know you are not from Australia, but you live there right now, and it's frustrating.
I'm stuck here.
I'm sorry, you're stuck there. You're stuck there. But it's really sad, frustrating. I don't have enough words to describe how you feel about the government of the place you live, or where are you from, right? This happened on many countries around the world, but people is really angry and frustrated about what's going on, and that the government is doing it all wrong. And it's not that we have the knowledge for doing the perfect way. No, we're not. But in many countries, the government is making really bad decisions, and it's affecting people really, really bad in many ways, not only about economic in many ways. And it's really frustrating because you talk to people all around the world, and most of them, they have the same feeling as you and me, right? Like, my government is making terrible work, and my country is going down, and this is worse every year. And it's really, I don't know how to explain how frustrated it is, because there is not so much that people can do unless keep trying, keep working, but it's really hard. It's really hard. I can talk, of course, about here, but it's really hard.
I was just talking to some friends of ours before the show, and we were talking about the vaccination situation, and they're not vaccinated. They live in the United States. And I asked them if they had been alienated in their society because they're not vaccinated, right? So can they go to a restaurant? Can they travel and all the rest of it? And they said, yeah, well, we can do that. And, we sit outside and we social distance and do all the rest of it. But they bring up a good point. They said to me, well, the government's about promoting vaccination, right? But the government should actually be promoting good health and good well-being. And a lot of people that are getting sick are those that don't look after themselves, right? So they're people that have been overweight, obese. They don't generally look after themselves in a good way. We've seen throughout this whole pandemic time frame how much people have turned to hygiene, actually washing their hands for the first time in their lives, right? Which has caused a lot of diseases to reduce in number of infections and also hospitalizations around the world. And I find this really interesting that just through a simple process of washing our hands, we can stop so much illness around the world and so much bad health, right?
Yeah.
So all these people that are crying up and down about the unvaccinated, they should also think about their overall health, because these are the people that are eating gallons of sugar every day. They're, not looking after their bodies in any sort of good way. And then they wonder why they get sick.
Yes.
And they're going to get sick more from COVID if they're unwell to start off with than they are in anything else. So I think it's quite ironic that the governments of the world are only focused on sending a message out there to say, get vaccinated, get vaccinated, get vaccinated.
Yes.
Whereas it's a great opportunity for them to make sure people's overall health and well-being. Like you said, I think the big tragedy of all this is when the borders open again, all those people that have got mental health issues as a result of COVID are going to be forgotten.
Of course. Yeah,
they're going to be forgotten, right? Like, as you said, people are suffering, and there's so many people suffering behind closed doors. People now that are losing their jobs because of mandates to be vaccinated. And thousands, again, I was talking to our friends, and thousands of flights in America were canceled because staff are walking off the job because they're not vaccinated, right?
Yes.
And the mental impact on those people, no one cares about. Like, no one, companies are not turning over and saying, oh, we care about you. We want you to be okay.
Nope.
They just want the economy driving again. So I wonder how long it's going to be for post-COVID for us to see the damage that's really being done in our societies, families that have been disconnected from each other, health situations that have got worse because people haven't got access to the things that make them feel good in their lives, right?
Exactly.
Support and families and all the rest of it.
Yeah. And it's everywhere in the world. People trying to make money in different ways. A lot of people lost their jobs, and it's crazy in many situations, because no matter what, no matter where you live or what you do, it has an impact on everyone. And for some people, it has a small impact, and okay, maybe staying at home or homeschooling or working from home, and well, okay, that's manageable, right? But for some people, mental health it's not a joke. For a lot of people, being a part of their family, it's a big deal, and it has an impact that we have no idea. As you said, I don't know if in the next year or the next 2, 3, 5 years, we are going to see the real impact that people had on different parts of the world. And I agree, the vaccine is important and can help. Yes, of course, it's one of the situations. It's only one part. But they are not taking care of many other pieces that they can make it better, because we wash our hands and we say goodbye to the flu, right? There almost no flu around the world because we wash our hands. But the impact that had in the past almost 2 years on people that cannot afford to pay rent or mortgage or school for kids or many things, basic things, or they lost appointments on doctor because COVID is priority, right? And we have no idea of the impact that it has on the people. We really cannot measure, at least not now. But it's not something that just the vaccine magically cure, right? It's about many things that the government has to put more effort. Let's see.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yesterday, I was reading some statistics from the World Health Organization that said that 5 million people have lost their life across the world since COVID started because of COVID.
Mhm.
And they expect the true number to actually be 4 times at least more than that. So that's 20 million people that have died from COVID. But then you add the number of people that have been seriously impacted because of COVID, right? And it may not be that they're dead, but they've had their life change in all sorts of strenuous ways, and they've lost opportunities in their life. You know, there's couples that have been separated, like us, that have been separated. There's families that have been separated, you know, parents that haven't seen their kids for years. Like,
Yes.
the toll of that, all that sort of situation is going to be incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got vaccinated?
Yes, of course. Yeah. Double doses.
So you're double
ready.
vaccinated. So what was
Yes.
your decision behind getting vaccinated? What was your driving force?
Okay. The most important was not so much about avoiding COVID, because I really have no idea about the vaccine. When it started, I said, okay, I don't know. I cannot say it's going to be fantastic or it's bad for me. I don't know. But the main reason was to be able to travel. That was the honest main reason, to be able to travel and being accepted on a flight on another country, because we know that we really need that right now. And in many countries, as you know, not only for a flight, you need the vaccine for getting to a restaurant, for going to a shopping mall, or a lot of activities. You need the vaccine. Here in Mexico, no, you can do whatever you want, and it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Only on some jobs, they have to be vaccinated, but the rest you're free. But in my case, it was to be accepted on a flight on another country. But well, at the end, I don't know, maybe it was mental, but the day I had the vaccine, I felt like, okay, if I had COVID at some point, I am not going to die. So yeah, for me it was like, oh, okay, maybe, okay, that's fantastic, that's a bonus, I cannot die. So yeah, I don't know, that helped me mentally.
So we've come full circle in the conversation. We're back to the Day of the Dead now. So people that
Again.
people that are dying from COVID end up being celebrated in the Day of the Dead in Mexico. Has there been a massive increase in the death numbers in Mexico over the last?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have the numbers lately. I really stopped checking that, because I used to check every week or something about the numbers, but it was crazy. And we have like 20,000 people having COVID per day. So
Per day.
this is per day. This is not now, but we have at some point 20,000 people with COVID in Mexico per day. So yeah, I have no idea how many people die and how are the numbers like now. But everything is open, hotels, everything. It's so yeah.
Well, hey, listen, I wanted to talk to you about something else today that's, I think, just as deadly as COVID-19, and that's social media. And I recently took myself off social media, and I tell you what, it's one of the best decisions I ever made, was getting off social media. What are your thoughts on social media? You've been a advocate of social media for a number of years. Yeah, you've been a strong user of social media for your business and all the things that you were doing. What are your thoughts around social media?
Okay, I had different stages about social media. When it started, for me, it was the best thing in the world, because I can be in touch with my friends that live in different parts of the world. in different countries. So it was amazing to see their photos and chat with them and have contact all the time in real time for social media. So it was fantastic. Then I put more attention because I was doing my travel blog and I was sharing Mexico and different parts and places. So the photo for Instagram or Facebook, it was a big deal because I shared the photos I took in different places in Mexico, and a lot of people around the world check those photos and they ask me questions a lot, and it was really amazing because every photo I put there were people asking me about that place or what is the best time of the year to visit this or that, many questions about that, and it was really amazing. It was like exactly what I was trying to do. So it was not about me, not about my face, not about, no, it was about places, colorful Mexico,
And
traditions,
getting
food.
invitations, in your case, getting invitations to go on travel podcast shows.
Yeah, exactly right. That is important. That was the best thing of the social media, right?
That was one of your key strategies, was to get
Exactly.
on podcast shows. Yeah.
I started because of that. I knew that I was going to be on a podcast.
Yeah, right.
That was the idea. And I made it. See, it was a big deal. But then after mission accomplished, everything changed.
Mhm.
And well, no, now social media, it's, in my opinion, of course, but it's a mess. Everything is fake. The places are fake. They change it so much with filters, with many things. The people is fake, the faces, the body, the body is not real, the face is not real. They change a lot of things. They just want the likes and comments, and it's not about that what I was enjoying about social media. It was completely another thing. And of course you can be in social media and do it on your own way, because that's you, and you allow only your friends to be there. You don't need to have it open and people that you don't know. You can do it for your friends and family, and that's it. And you can do it as healthy as you want. That's your decision. If you want it for likes and comments and be an influencer or whatever, that's your decision, right? But in my case, it changed so much that it's completely different when it started.
I take some real interest in what happens on social media with a lot of these influencers, because I see that there's a epidemic of people wanting to be known on social media, right? And they put themselves out there in all sorts of different formats. But one thing I constantly see is I see this burnout process where they just explode in their life, and their life becomes so miserable. I used to follow this couple on Instagram, and they're traveling the world as influencers, and they're staying in all these wonderful, beautiful places and making amazing photographs. And they're both on the brink of mental breakdown, and they're a young couple, and they're trying to live this unsustainable lifestyle where they're going to all these amazing places, but they're not even seeing these places because they're worried about setting up their tripod and their camera and capturing a time lapse of a sunset instead of sitting there and actually watching the sunset. And they're worried about how many people are going to like their photos and make comments about how we love you and blah, 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 blah. And I see it time and time again that all of these people eventually get to that stage where the video comes out. We've made a decision to stop social media for a while, and we're not going to be posting for a week. And then it becomes a month, and then it becomes, we've decided not to do this anymore because they finally realize. And the other thing that I used to witness when I was on social media was the amount of time that people spend on these platforms.
Yes.
Like seriously, to sit there and comment and like and whatever on all these posts that go on, hours of people's days are just, whenever I used to do business with people, I'd find out how active they are on social media, right?
Yes.
And it just gives you a really clear indication of where they're wasting their time, like what kind of people they are, how productive are they, what are they actually achieving in their lives. And so many of them were just spending so many hours a day on social media. And okay, some of them might have other people managing it for them. I don't know. But the majority don't have other people managing it for them.
Yeah.
And they're sitting there and they can't wait to make a comment or a post on something that's going on. And it's if to say, when they make a comment, it's like the world should stop and listen, because what I have to say is so important, and it's going to change the world because of this comment that I have to say. So look, it's been, I don't know how long it's been now since I've been off, over a month, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. Yes.
Yeah. And it's fantastic. And do I miss it? No, I don't miss anything about it at all, like nothing. And what's really good is I found out who I'm actually really, truly connected to and who I'm not. And of course, 95% of those people that were on my Facebook page are not there in my life anymore. Yeah.
They disappear.
They're gone. All my friends
I know,
have gone. Oh,
I know.
I've lost all my friends in life. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah. But that was really, it wasn't even a surprise, because I knew that was going to happen anyway. Yeah. And all these fake people that were connected for who knows what reason. So, yeah, interested if you're listening to this and you've got a problem with social media, write in the comments what your problem is. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah. Have you had a break from social media? Have you, have you had a detox? Have you spent some time away from it? Tell us what you think about social media and what platforms you're on.
I think we should all do that, at least once a week, a year or something, no matter what you do. Yeah, it's a lot of time spending on something that you can have your business there, or it doesn't matter. It's not about why. It's about the time you spend there.
Yeah.
The importance of that. Yes.
Yeah.
There was also always a way.
Yeah, you're right. And there was a second reason for me why I really got angry. I'll use the word angry because I was angry about social media. And with what has transpired that's come out about Facebook in particular, and the whistleblower that came out and spoke her truth and demonstrated through evidence how damaging these social media platforms are on. And I'm not just talking about one of them, I'm talking about all of them. And it really indicates what negativity it's bringing to society in general, over and above any of the good things that it could actually be doing to create a connection for us all. And let's face it, this is what it's about. But I find, again, personal opinion, talking about the subject, I think it's done nothing but divide us more, because it's made us choose between yes or no, white or black, red or yellow, right? Whether we're a Democrat or Republican, no matter what side we sit on the fence of the gender discussion, it's divided us, and it's made us be more introverted towards our particular stance in the world, whereas we need to be uniting more, particularly at this stage in the world's history. Like, we're not going to solve climate change on social media, right? We're not going to solve the issues that we've had with COVID around social media. It's going to be us getting together as human beings, truly connecting in person, and by taking action towards things. And people might say, I bet you there's people saying now, yeah, but social media is a good way of getting exposure to certain things. But then everybody has an opinion, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's going to share their point of view. So I just find that I ethically don't relate to the values that those organizations are demonstrating. One, I don't want them to have my data. My data is my privacy. And the more that I can keep my data private in my life, that's something that I try and do as much as I possibly can, even though I know that it's everywhere. And also the destructive nature of things like, I'm a sports guy, so I'm seeing a lot of this racial abuse that's online. A lot of the abuse in general that's online towards sports people. And I'm not going to sit there and just support that process by being on that platform. I just think it's totally wrong. Totally wrong.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely agree with you. And I see something else, that our people our age, it's easier to make the decision about social media, because we didn't grow with social media. This is kind of new for us. It's not new, but kind of new for us, right? So we find it, we adapt, we started, and we can say, okay, yeah, it's not for me, or yeah, I do it for my family or whatever. But for the new generations, nothing like that. That's the only thing they know, to connect with people. And that is a way different story, way different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Manage their lives on every way, especially on their aspect and what they think and of all sort of things. So for us, it's a different story, but for new generations, it is a big deal.
Yeah, and you're right.
It's not a positive thing.
Yeah. And it's not just about social media, because if you look at, and I agree with exactly what you're saying, I think if you look at the decisions that parents have to make today, you've got screaming kids, and all you want to do is throw an iPad in front of them with a cartoon movie on, so they be quiet, right? So they're hooked into these devices, right, from a young age. Then they're playing video games for how many hours a day, right? And then they're on their phones for the rest of it. So it's not just about the social media, it's about our connection to these electronic devices that are destroying lives. Like, we've talked today about COVID and health and well-being. Well, this is another area of life, I think, that needs to have a tremendous look at in terms of the healthy destruction that's happening as a result of computers and smartphones. And I was just saying to someone yesterday, like, I spent 15 years of my life without a phone, right? And I'd love to get rid of my phone again, but it's almost impossible, because everything is tied to your phone, right? And
yes, of course.
I went somewhere the other day, and you've got to have a Q code scanned. You've got to do this and do that on your phone. You go to apply for something, the first thing they ask you for is your mobile phone number. It's almost impossible to live without a mobile phone in the world that we live in, right? I know there's a lot of people that are living without mobile phones, but I'm talking about in the world. And that, to me, is wrong. Like, we should be able to make a choice that, hey, we don't want to be on this technology, right?
Yeah. But again, on our age, you can decide, okay, I will have my phone for the necessity, but I really need to use it. It's different for the.
Can you survive in your life, though, without a mobile phone? Like, if you got rid of it?
What I use the most, it's a camera. So yeah, I think so. Yes. Yeah, I think so. It's
so you don't need your phone to scan in somewhere, or to send money, or pay for something, or you haven't got that level of integration in your life on your phone yet?
No, not in Mexico. No, not yet. No.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, I can leave it at home and go outside and do my normal day without need it to my day. No. Yeah. So it's kind of different. Yeah, I can do that. Well, now, really soon I will need the code for the vaccine, the QR. So yeah, it's going to be very, very different soon.
Yeah, they say that, put this on your phone, download this app, use this to show that you're going to be doing this, and
yes,
you're trapped without a phone.
But that's my opinion. If you use it for exactly what you need, there's not such a big deal, I believe. But again, new generations, their life is on a phone or an iPad, or so they cannot live without that, not even a day, not even.
So you're saying that I should stop showing my age, are you? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not. It's not about that. I'm just saying it's different from us. It's different for us. We can make the decision. You don't need it for the social media and the photo, and you're trying to show things, and it's different. It's really so it's not as addictive, I believe.
Hey, just getting back to our conversation before about influencers and social media and all that stuff, we had that case in America recently where that girl and that guy went tripping across America in their van, and she ended up getting murdered and he's ended up killing himself. What do you make of that whole process? Do you think that's social media related? Do you think that kind of had some kind of impact in their relationship and their life journey?
No, I believe he was jealous or something, or maybe a little bit of crazy psycho, something like that. They have a fight, or and I think that he went crazy and that's it. But again, social media may not help with this situation. And
because they were vlogging about their trip across America, yeah?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, right.
well, maybe sometimes it's a good idea to share your life, what you're doing, what you love. Nothing wrong sometimes, but sometimes it's not so much healthy. And with a couple, I believe that putting your life outside so much and share with the world, sometimes it has a negative side. And I don't know, it might create a problem there. No idea, but yeah, I believe for influencers on any level, social media reached that point, what you were mentioning, the point of, no, I'm exhausted, I need a break from this, I cannot do it anymore. Not the perfect photo, not the perfect sunset, the perfect meal, the perfect everything and unique, and my photo is like nothing. And yeah, they all reach that point of needing an exit.
Another hot topic at the moment in the world is this unfortunate shooting of this lady on this film set in America, where Alec Baldwin was passed a gun that had live ammunition in it. He shot it and he killed the woman in question. What do you think about this whole thing?
Well, it's not the first time that happened on a movie set, right?
Happens every day in Mexico, right?
Not with fake guns, with real ones. Yeah, that happened. But this is normal for us. Yeah, we know that situation on the newspaper every day. But in the rest of the world, it's not. It's not that normal. But on a movie set, it's not the first time. But how that simple kind of thing that changed the life of many people in that situation in the set. Of course, the family of the woman and Alec Baldwin and Baldwin's family, and it is not something simple. And it's just a maybe a human mistake. Maybe it was not a mistake. Maybe it was on purpose. I don't know. But if it was a mistake, it's something that, of course, nobody's perfect, right? We all make mistakes, but well, when your job is something like that it's life or death, extra careful. It's nothing simple. I don't know what to think.
It's an interesting one, though, because not a lot of people talking about it potentially not being a mistake. And allegedly, there was some live ammunition sitting around that shouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't supposed to be there, why was it there? And how did it find its way into the gun? And there seemed to be, from what the reports are coming out and saying at the moment, that there was a lot of unrest on the set of the movie, and a lot of people were upset with the way that the whole thing was being managed. So I don't think we've heard the end of this one yet. I think the police are taking their time to look at all the things that are going on, but it was a very sad event for someone to be going to their job and doing something like that and ending up with a bullet in their chest.
Yeah. Do you think that 2021 has good news around the world? Do you find good news around the world?
Well, this is an interesting subject as well, because I think that's something else that really needs to change, I think, in the world is, I'm a big fan of people like Joe Rogan and what he's doing with his podcast, and I just find it hilarious that he's got 10 times the viewership that CNN has in America.
Yeah.
And, CNN are going out there and doing everything they can to try and cancel Joe Rogan at the moment, which is just ridiculous. And, but it just shows where we're at in this transition away from fake news, as President Trump used to call it, and, where the whole thing lies. Because, I watched the television news here the other day, and there was like 17 stories on the news in 1 hour. And every single one of them was a bad news story. It was about a killing, a rape, a burglary, someone that had been kicked out of their home, another burglary, a child that had been stolen and kidnapped. Every story was negative, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But the reality is that there's a lot of good things going on around the world, and there's a lot of interesting stuff. There's a lot of innovation. There's a lot of great human stories out there that just never get told.
Yeah, you don't feel that you have to dig to find it?
Oh yeah, you got to dig. Yeah, absolutely.
You have to, right? On YouTube dig. Or on wherever you're trying to read about it. It's you have to dig to find this kind of good news around the world. It's all bad.
Yeah.
What they show, of course.
But like you said before, though, I think, because of the age we live in, I think it's easier for us to program our own devices with that content we want to watch. So we can choose to watch the good news. We can choose to watch inspiring, positive people. And we can choose to turn off all the rubbish, right? So I think that today's age, where we've got this on-demand system, whether it be through YouTube or all the different types of TV cables that are coming out now and streaming services, I think the choice is abundant for us to watch good content if we choose to. But I think that still so many people are lost in this world where they want to watch rubbish. They want to watch degrading content. I don't know what it is about the human species, but they just tend to like other people's misfortune
catastrophes.
And catastrophes. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Of course.
What do they say?
They are worse than me.
Bad news sells. Bad news sells.
Of course. They are worse than me. So yeah, I feel better.
But I tell you what, and this is why I love Joe Rogan so much, and that's why we're doing this show today, is because the art of conversation. Here's a man that's built a huge global following on his podcast show, who's got millions of viewers, who sits in front of a camera and a microphone for 3 hours and has a conversation with people. And people are captivated by it. And Russell Brand's another one who's doing the same thing. And it shows no end that there's enough audience out there, or more and more people. I think it's a growing audience, actually, from my side, who want to listen to constructive, intelligent conversations between human beings, and not all this other white noise that's out there. And that's why CNN and all these other channels are failing, because they're not listening to their audience for a start. They're not listening. They're going on their old cycle of what they've used in the past, and it's failing. And they're going to be out of business soon because their ratings are crap. And you've got all these new hosts and show managers that are making much more exciting content and having decent conversations that people are genuinely interested in.
Yes. And now it's different, because now, as you said, it's our choice. It is absolutely different than it was on the 80s or 90s, that you have to watch TV. Exactly. And what they present there is what you watch, and that's it. Right? You have 4 or 5 channels, and you watch that, and that's it. And now, of course, the decision is ours.
I can't remember back so far as you can, but I guess that's how it was. I guess that's how it was back then. Yeah.
It was color TV, black and white TV, but similar TV.
Yeah. But I think it's a good thing of what's happening, and I think that it's going to bring out, there's a lot more interesting content online now that people are developing, and there's a lot of creators that are doing some really cool stuff. So that old age that you were talking about, where there was specific programming that shaped a lot of people's lives, like a lot of people were put into the system because of that programming that used to take place, right? Whereas today you can pick up on topics and themes and conversations that you enjoy listening and being part of, and you can participate in that, and you can do it in a constructive way. Of course, there's going to be always the online trolls and idiots, but for the most part, you can find your like-minded community and you can be part of that community. So I think that's a good thing. And I enjoy that much more than, social media in terms of, I think podcasting is something that's really revolutionized the world in terms of the way that we consume content. The industry's growing massively and rapidly, and a lot of exciting things are happening in that space and are going to continue to evolve. And that's an exciting time, I think, for that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and we have a lot of options now to listen or watch or read anything we are interested in. Could be positive or negative. It's just our decision. It's really easy. Really.
Are you reading a book at the moment?
No, not now, and that is really sad because I had a book that I was reading, and then I changed my. I don't have it physically. I have it on my phone, and I changed my phone, and I changed to a different one, and I cannot read it. So yeah, I have no books right now, and I need.
So again, you're dependent on your phone to read a book.
Oh yeah, exactly right. Because I buy it there, and that were the only place. But okay, let's solve that. I can do it on an iPad later, so it's the same. But yeah, I don't have physical books here, which is sad.
So how many books have you read in the last 12 months?
Wow. I was doing so great, so great. But now the past year, maybe only two. Yeah, and I was doing really great. That couple of years I was reading around 30 a year, 32. That changed a lot. COVID.
So are you somebody that could go and lay on a deserted island and read books day after day? Is that something that excites you?
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. If I have unlimited.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have to find you a deserted island then. And
could be not an island, but could be a forest or something like that.
A forest.
A little less sunny. Sunny.
You're happy to be in a forest somewhere.
Yeah, I would love it. Yes, absolutely. Not so much about the sun. Yeah.
Okay. Is there any other hot topics we should cover in today's show, or what have you got for us? You better give us one. I've been giving us all the topics today.
Oh yeah. Because you find the good news. I was all about the bad news in the world, and now I'm so focused on the countries opening. Because my past year and a half, it has been around waiting for countries to open. So I'm so focused about that, and I'm reading a lot of things about that and watching, and that's why I'm so distracted with all these things, because it has been all about that situation, which it's not that I don't see the good news around the world. It's not that, but it's more that I am so focused on one thing that kind of disappear the others, and that is not so good, but it the way it is. And yeah, I watch and read too much about this, and because now it's happening and the countries are opening, and it all the restrictions for every country or flight or whatever, it's different. I am spending so much time researching and doing all kind of things, so that's why you have better news than I do.
Well, maybe we'll get you back on the show and you can do a whole show on the world opening up and let people know all the details of what they have to do if they want to travel to a specific destination. Yeah.
A to Z, right?
A to Z. Yeah, we could do an A to Z on
world. Please don't.
The world opening up again. Yeah.
Yeah, depending on every country. Ask me. No, I don't know that much, but yeah, I'm putting attention on that.
Okay, well, we're going to let you get back to the Day of the Dead and the celebrations. You probably got a few glasses of tequila you want to smash away there behind you. Is that true?
Yeah, kind of. It's not tequila. It's a beer, but
It's
yes,
a
I
beer.
do.
Okay.
Yes.
So you go and enjoy a couple of Coronas with the Day of the Dead people, and we'll catch up with you again soon on the show. Thank you for giving us your time here on the Humanity Podcast, and stay well and stay safe over there in beautiful Mexico.
Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for joining me.
There we go. That was the beautiful Luisa Gonzalez talking to me from Cancun, Mexico. We had a chat about a number of different things there. I hope you found some of it interesting or entertaining or whatever. If you'd like to be on the show, give me a shout out. We've got guests coming on all the time to talk about all sorts of different things, depending on what your subject or subjects of interest are. I'm happy to have a talk to anybody here on the Humanity Podcast Show. Thanks very much for watching. My name's Mark Philpott. I'll be back again with another video very soon. In the meantime, why don't you subscribe to the channel if you like the videos and hit the little bell notification. You'll be notified every time we drop a video. So all the very best, everyone. Stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you again really soon.